you were saying that he's likely to have been to be found to have misled the House.
Yes, I think basically there are three things the committee needs to do. It needs to establish whether he misled the House, whether that constitutes contempt, and whether the extent to which he willingly or knowingly misled the House, which will then guide the punishment. So if they sort of say, look, he misled the House, but he didn't mean to do so, maybe they'll say, we're not recommending a very serious punishment. They said he did mean to do so. Really, it's those, according to the Recall Act 2015, if he's suspended for 10 sitting days or more from the House of Commons, that can trigger a by-election against him, a recall petition that would lead to a by-election against him. And that would be very serious because I think, there's a good chance that he could lose the by-election. He would be allowed to stand in the by-election, and if he chose to do so, maybe he'd win it. But given the current political circumstances and the marginality of his constituency, it might be a tough call. So really, the Privileges Committee does have the power to suggest to the House of Commons that effectively Boris Johnson ought to be subject to recall. And then it's for the House of Commons to determine whether they agree with that. And that's why, again, I think this legal advice the Prime Minister has sought is so important, because if he can get his lawyers to say, look, their definition of contempt is too broad, then perhaps they can make the case not to accept a harsh penalty.